Okay. Hi, Sonam. Thank you so much for joining this podcast series. Um, and I'm so excited for this session happening. Uh, let's get started with the series. So, yeah, please introduce yourself. Like, what was your journey after graduation? How did this happen? Your journey into AI research happened after that development space. Please share your journey.
Yeah. Hey everyone. I'm Sonam. I worked as a developer at Quadrant Engine, which is like a vector database and search company. Before that, I worked at Raza, which makes framework for chatbots, and we were a lot in conversational AI, LLMs, and generative AI space. Before that, I worked as an AI researcher at Sama Technology. So we worked a lot with companies like Pfizer and Novartis for clinical trials and NIEH as well. So and there I also got the opportunity to publish a paper at ACL Anthology, which is one of the most prestigious place to for NLP. And I before that I worked as a lead of software engineers at
Okay.
Solinas Integrity, which is a pipeline inspection, and it was incubated at IIT Madras. So we had this academia plus industry connection, right? At IIT Madras, it's quite a big thing. Before that, I worked with a professor at IIC Bangalore,
Okay.
Professor V. Vinay, and he was developing autonomous vehicles at that time. So immediately after my graduation, I joined Professor V. Vinay, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Thank you.
Hmm. Great, actually. So, so you were working at IISc as a um, like you were working
Yeah.
there full time as an AI
Not
researcher.
I wasn't at ISC, so I was working under professor, but I wasn't working in ISC. So he
Okay,
has his independent company that he started for autonomous vehicle. Yeah.
right. So, how did this journey into AI research happen? And was it like after this working for this Vinay, working with Vinay?
Uh, Yes, so during university time, I did a project in IIT Kharagpur aerospace department. I was
Okay,
always very much interested in aerospace. So my project was optimal path planning, which I don't know if you can relate with control systems and
true,
AI.
true.
So if you like go back to my graduation time 2017, most of the aerospace and control system, it didn't AI hadn't evolved like it is right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like there were no LLMs, or there were no chat GPT, but there was mostly AI was applied in control systems.
True.
So I was working on the same project, like optimal path
Okay.
planning and IIT Kharagpur, that I got from my I just mailed the professor introducing myself, and I told him I have the interest in this kind of project, and I got it. So after that particular project, I wanted to continue in this. So that's how I met Vinay, and I started uh, this project again. Yes.
Okay, so you published the research paper over there itself, I think.
No, I published a paper at Sama Technology. Sama is known for
Oh,
clinical analytics, right?
okay.
Everything related to biomedical domain. Yes.
Got it. So I see that like right now, previously you worked as AI researcher and later on you shifted your role to DevRel. So how did this
Yes.
transition has happened and what made you to shift like this in this space?
Yeah. So, yeah, I was working as an AI researcher. I was giving talks a lot, related to
Hmm.
AI. One of the best topic at that time was biases in models, right? So that was a big concern, and I was doing some work related to biases at Sama, because in medical field, if you are deploying an AI model, you have to be very conscious about what you're introducing inside the model. It has to be very explainable. If it
True.
is doing any kind of bias towards one segment or group of people, example black people, you have to be very very conscious about it. So I was doing a lot of research related to biases, and I got the opportunity to deliver a talk at PyCon TE, which is like a PyCon version of Germany, and
Okay.
PyData Berlin.
Hmm.
So I gave a talk there, and then I got contacted by the co-founder of Raza, Alex,
Okay.
and he said, like, yeah, you explain the things really well, and I like the way you explain things. So will you be able to join as an advocate for Raza? And I wouldn't have joined because I didn't wanted to switch from research to advocacy at that time. But
Hmm.
Raza, I don't know if you have visited their YouTube channel. Rachel and Vincent are very popular, and they do a lot of research themselves. So I saw, hey, I can do this explanation thing as well. Plus, I can do my research. So there's a win-win situation. So why not?
Hmm.
So
True.
yeah, that's how I ended as a Deborah at Raza. Yeah.
So then, so since you have worked in this space as well, so which one did you like? Like more of behavioral advocacy or AI part more?
For me, developer advocacy is just like explaining things to
Hmm.
people. It's a
True.
pull marketing thing, and I love since I was working with my professor. I also used to go to universities and teach
Hmm.
autonomous those how you can introduce Raspberry Pi and computer vision and build autonomous vehicles. So I was very passionate about teaching to students how to get this piece of technology working.
Yeah,
So I think I love research. I love AI research and whatever is happening. And you know, since we are like 5 years ago, nobody predicted that this space will
that's true.
explode like this. Yes, but whoever stick to it, right? Whoever loved it, whoever stick to it, like they had a bigger role to play, I can say. So
Hmm.
I mostly like research, but I love to explain things and like join conferences and things.
So actually the main theme of this podcast is also the same thing. So to be able
Yeah,
to uh, give awareness to the students and working professionals who wanted to transition into
yeah,
this AI space. So
yeah.
that was the main reason also I started this, so that people will be able to know more about this space. And there are a lot many roles
Hmm.
we can explore in AI. Since even me as a beginner, when I started around to 2019, I just got to know
Yeah.
only there are two roles like machine learning engineer and data scientist. Now there are like so many
Hmm.
roles got exploded, is what I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the thing is, since many students and working professionals who wanted to transition into this AI space are watching this, so can you just provide a kind of roadmap, or what is the process to get into this generative AI space, since it's very popular, it's getting popular, and nowadays many roles are in generative AI compared to machine learning previously they were. Yeah.
Yes, I would suggest to not just use wrappers. I guess a lot
Hmm.
of people understand it as a full stack job, but it's really good if you can understand what's happening. Plus, it would be really cool if you can contribute to open source projects, because that is one of the way to get into that region, is that you contribute to one of the repos that are known for. that particular domain, right? So I also have a generative AI open source library called Embed Anything that we
Okay.
built for faster embedding generation, which I
Okay.
think was a bottleneck before. So yeah, contribute whatever is. First of all, find your own interest, right?
Hmm.
So I don't know what you are interested in, what pulls you in, right? For me, it was biases, these kind of topics that had impact, that was like impact driven research areas. So I was very much interested in those, and
Right.
because of that I somehow like contributed, gave a lot of talks, and yeah, and was able to
But
get into.
actually, the thing is, even I'm very new to open source contributions. But if a beginner asks you this question, like how to get started, what do you say?
Yeah, yeah,
Be-
yeah, and I understand,
Because
I understand.
because the reason for this question is because I see there are so many repos to contribute. I don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
So this was
Yeah,
my
I get.
question also, to be honestly speaking. So
Yeah,
please.
very much, and I can resonate with you. So what happens is here outside, right? Outside of India, professors play a very big, huge role for academia and industry
Hmm.
connection. uh, and you need to look into professor's profile and find out what he's interested in, and if his interest area is resonating with you, right? Take
Okay.
one project under him, right? For me,
Okay.
how I started my project. So i I was a huge fan of autonomous vehicle when it came, right?
Hmm.
It was the only thing
True. True.
that used to be very cool during those times. So I was like, hey, how these things are happening. So I found out professors who are doing it,
Okay.
and I understood little concepts, and I tried to make my own niche inside that whole big autonomous vehicle frame. And I searched for open source projects that are related to those or contribute to the professor library itself. So
Hmm.
it's a like a step by step process. If you do not have a professor, if you do not have if you are not able to find people whose work resonate with you, find online, right? GitHub is such a big repository. Just find your own interest first. Are you interested in NLP? Are you interested in computer vision? There's so many different things. Are you interested in model alignment with data? Are you interested in data cleaning itself? So
Okay.
everything, it's a such a big huge bubble, and then you can find your own thing that you're interested in and become best in it. So that would be
Okay.
my advice, like pick up one thing that you like the most. It could be anything, and then become best in it.
Let's say if I'm interested in computer vision, and if I
Yeah.
wanted to contribute to many libraries like OpenCV, deep
Mm-hmm.
streaming, NVIDIA
Mm-hmm.
related libraries as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But where to get started with in that particular space, because there are so many libraries in one space itself. So
Yeah, so always try to understand what's coming, right?
hmm,
Right now, what is the best thing about computer vision? As far as I understand, it's how you connect text to
to video
your
generation part.
images.
Hmm.
Yes, exactly. Image generation part. That is the best thing about generative AI right now.
Right.
And then you have to research what
Hmm.
is making this particular piece of technology, right? If diffusion model is making images from text, like, so what is the piece of technology in that? So you go to the research
Okay.
paper, you understand. Then if you go to the research paper, you will understand, hey, there's clip. Then you go to the repository of clip and see what do they do, like what are they doing. And it's not limited, right? Clip also have a lot of shortcomings. So what people did is built different ways better than clip, right? Clip has
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
problem that the text and image encoders are very far away. So they built something called siglip or blip, that the text and image encoder comes closer. So I think online is the best place to find out what's interesting and read the research paper, read the latest research paper, and be very, updated about what's the latest research, what generative AI, what else is coming except for this diffusion model. You must have remembered GAN got like really popular, but
Popular.
why
True.
GAN couldn't reach the level, because it was very difficult to control a GAN. Then what came as, I think control GAN came, but by that time diffusion
True.
model had already taken off.
Yeah.
So
Right.
try to find the latest updates and then take it from there.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean,
Okay. Got it.
in you will need some mentor who can tell you, uh, who can like guide you step by step on, like, hey, do this project or that project. If you do not have, like, start very small, like start just with an API and then try to make changes in those API, if possible. Try to
Hmm.
do more projects if you are not able to contribute to open source directly,
Hmm.
but try more projects. Because I am all about projects. I think from the second year of my university itself, I started doing a lot of projects on side.
Even in the projects itself, how do you suggest like different kinds of projects or one niche related projects?
Yeah, so that is a very good question. I also got, this thing a lot. So initially, I was doing a lot of different. I was exploring a lot of things regarding, how suspensions vagara works, and then I got to know about computer vision. Then I got excited about object detection, so I did a
Hmm.
little bit
Hmm.
of object detection. And then I got excited about autonomy and optimal path planning. And there are certain things that only a PhD guide or a professor can push you to, uh, not an industry expert. But you have to like really try to understand, do you want to be in academy or do you want to be in industry? For me, I didn't want to get into industry very early, right? I wanted to
Okay.
do some research and then move towards industry, because I thought if I end up like at a place where I'm just like filling Excel sheets or doing what they're
As
making presentations kind of thing, that won't be like
true.
valuable in long term for me. For me, I wanted to build something that was very latest. I wanted to
Hmm.
work in the latest technologies.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
what.
True.
Yeah.
Correct. That makes sense. But since you started talking about projects, so I was thinking like about how, as a student or a working professional, how can I start making these projects so that I can
Mm-hmm.
reach out to founders who are
Mm-hmm.
doing these open source projects or whatsoever, not even these open source related founders or
Yeah.
any founder per se. So how can a person do those projects or open source contributions in such a way that we can get an impression from that particular founder and so that he can reach out to us?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a cool one. So, I when I was in university, there were a lot of technical clubs
Mhm.
that I used to go to and see what are they doing, and how they're doing it. Right, there was a robotics club. There was someone who was making vehicles. Someone was doing. So I think those student clubs help you a lot. If they are actually building something else. Most of the student clubs are
Hmm.
like very related to events or stuff. If you're interested, of course, join them. But if there
Hmm.
are technical teams in the university, it helps a lot.
And uh, attending conferences or some networking events.
Yes, yes, exactly. There's such a popular place, right? PyCon India. It's one of the most popular conference. So
So how to
check out what they are doing.
Okay, so how to get started like attending these events? Like how do I get to know? Let's say I have never heard about PyCon to be honest. So how can
Ah,
a
okay.
person so really, yeah, being an ML engineer, I don't know. So the thing is, I don't know about the tech conferences. Even though that
Uh-huh.
happens, it may not happen in our particular city or state. So what's the
Yeah.
other way around? Like we can, so we are missing this opportunity of it not attending the events. So what
The
would be
events are not always offline. I think there are a lot of online events as well that you
okay?
can become a part, especially during COVID and after COVID, most of the events went offline.
Okay,
So
okay. So
yeah,
what are
so
the,
if you code in Python,
hmm,
PyCon and PyData are one of the best
hmm,
conferences, and then there is a, if you are interested in Rust, then there's a Rust conference, RustCons. AI ML related, and also if you can try to go to publication conferences, right? Those are really
okay.
big and will get a lot of exposure about
Hmm, hmm.
latest papers.
So, like, where are these community conferences hosted? Like on these online conferences.
Online. I think you can follow their page and they always, and you can go to meetup.com and you
Okay.
can choose your interest as AI and machine learning, and you'll get
Hmm.
notification on whenever
So
these
these can
meetups
be
are
online
happening.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them happens online.
So I know Meetup as an offline events only. So that is the issue. Okay, got it. Mm.
Yeah. Or you can
Oh,
join any of the YouTuber, right? There's so many good YouTubers these days. There is Yannick Culture I follow, and yeah, of course, YouTube Raza. How can you forget that?
yeah.
Most of my work used to go in creating these YouTube videos for explaining concepts related to generative AI and LLMs. So there are YouTube videos, and there's niche in everything right now. Like if someone is doing LLMs, they go a lot in depth. So YouTube is one of the big
Hmm.
giants if you want to get
That is
started
true.
in and
True,
start
true.
gaining knowledge.
And I see that like you're working for Starlight, like as a creator. So
Yeah.
what exactly is that? And please explain about that. What you're doing there.
Yes, so thank you for that question. So I was working at Quadrant Engine before, and I'm very much in the field of embeddings and vectors and how it can improve uh, your application, generative AI applications. But the thing that these embeddings creation, there's not much libraries that do that. There are models. There are Gina AI. There are so many OpenAI models. There are local models, right? But there's nothing that supports them. If you have to build embeddings, you will have to go through LangChain. Okay, and
Hmm.
that is a very slow process. Like I had uploaded this library, this video comparing our embed anything library and simple Python, and there was like
Okay.
40 times faster than any simple Python. So
Okay.
I was like, why? And we are very much interested in Rust. We are building Rust because optimal. So everything is going fast. Like model creation is happening, training is happening, and nobody is focused on the infrastructure that will support all that model creation, all this whole uh, this whole generative AI pipeline. So we built a very fast robust pipeline for embedding and generative AI that can, like, support you in a very much faster way. So we had the we I went to this conference and I showed them this kind of faster version. So everyone was like, oh, I didn't know this. Where, like, how to get started and everything, like, because this was one of the pain point, that LangChain is there, but it is very heavy and it is very slow. uh, and we came up with a faster version in Rust. So
Got it.
yeah.
So where do you upload these videos?
I have one channel called Altruist. I upload it there. I upload on LinkedIn, Twitter. I think LinkedIn is a very good resource for you if you know how to use them, right? If you want to stay updated on something, LinkedIn is always one of the best place. Yannick also publishes stuffs on LinkedIn. So, and
Okay,
he also has a Discord channel. So yeah, YouTube, meetup.com, LinkedIn, and Discord. Don't just know how to use them wisely, and you will be at the top.
I'll share your LinkedIn and YouTube Discord links in the
Yes.
description
Thank you.
because
Yes.
yeah, because everyone needs to know about it. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, do you have any questions for me? So this is going to be the end of the podcast. Like,
Yes.
so
Yes.
yeah, before we wind up, so
So
just wanted to know, like, what's your feedback for me? And
yeah,
what do
it
you want
was
to say?
great. I didn't even feel like it's already an hour, and I just talked for an hour
Yes.
without even realizing. So yeah, great job, Jayasri. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
And I love the way you have focused it. I think I already said that like really helped them out. But I think for those reasons, right? I also come from those kind of regions where the internet speed is not fast. There's no meetup happening, but I think Geo has done a lot of good job
That
making
is for
everything
true.
online.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, and I do feel like I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, and I shouldn't spend. I try to digital, you know in
Detox.
that is called
Detox.
detox. Yes, exactly. But I couldn't do it. I'm like, I have to stay updated on what's happening, and it was pretty. It's not that bad. Like, my husband tells me, like, you spend so much time, you might create 2 or 3 library in that time, but I think one of the way to reach out to those people is through LinkedIn. If I do not post
Yeah,
things about, or if I do not compare my library with some other libraries, how will they know that this cool stuff exists?
r-
So
right. Yes. So even
I'm
I
not on Instagram. I hate Instagram, but
even I
I
don't
cannot stay
use
away from
actually.
LinkedIn.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to use properly as well. I know LinkedIn, that LinkedIn only.
Hmm.
Other than that, I don't know anything.
Yes.
So I maintain
Yes.
AI and product management communities actually. So those are around
Yeah.
700 users as of now. So it's a WhatsApp based community, and they can network
Ah,
and
nice.
build products. So networking is the
Yeah, one
key.
of my friend does it. It's a big thing now, right? In networking. So if you know Nirant, I think he built some generative AI community on WhatsApp itself in
Okay.
India.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I haven't heard. Yeah, but I'll
I
definitely
think
check it out. Is
I
it a
think
WhatsApp
universities
channel or
are.
a community?
It's a WhatsApp channel where he posts all the updates related to generative AI, like
Yeah.
everything about generative AI.
Okay. What is the name of it? What is the name of the channel?
I seriously do not know, but I just know the name of the person is Nirant.
Niran. Yeah, I'll
Because,
try to check out.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I think it's going big in India, different
Hmm.
networks, different communities. And I think university students need a lot of direction. Even
And
I was so
resources.
lost during, and resources. Uh, I think a lot of colleges can help, but I don't know, their priorities is quite different from from what's.
Hmm.
But this is clear that university education itself is not enough. you need to do a lot on
Yeah,
your own.
that is for 100% sure, 1000% sure, I can say.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah, thank you so
that's
much.
all.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
thank you
Have
so
a
much for joining.
great day. Bye.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Have a great day.
Bye.